become a trend? When did becoming a bully become cool? When did that happen? When? I blame social media. I blame a lot of these beauty gurus who think like, being catty and being vindictive and being, bitch life, boss life, like it's brainwashing a lot of people and dehumanizing so many people. And it's a really, really crazy world out there to try to like fight against it, I actually have been fighting with Instagram for a minute, saying, hey, like, none of this makes sense. Like, y'all keep restricting my content. I don't care about the likes, to be honest with you. I just care that if people come across my page and they follow me and they actually like what I'm talking about, that some of them can't see it because they're never going to be told that I posted something. And that's crazy to me, Meanwhile, there's all these other people that are putting senseless things, hateful things, over-sexualized things, and there's no filter. And because I'm talking about real life things, you want to mute me? And I was talking to somebody at the time, and they told me last year that I wasn't shadow banned. And I'm like, that's impossible, because I'm looking at the statistics and the algorithm, looking at all this. So they're not there anymore, and I'm working with someone now. They're not part of Instagram, but they're like, let me take a look at this. And they're like, you are for sure. And I'm like, I know that. But regardless of knowing that I'm being restricted to reach my potential reach, I still put up my content. I still put up what I feel in my hearts of hearts needs to be said and told and talked about, whether it affects losing people or being more blocked or whatever. I just know that I finally have come to terms and to truth that my goal has always been to help others, and in some way figure out how to use my leverage to do so. And so I wanted to do this back in 2018. It's 2021, and I'm doing it. And I think the reason why I'm doing it now is because there is 100% truth in it now. In 2018, oh my God, in 2018, I believed that I was whole, because for a long time I thought I was incomplete, and I thought I found my person, and I thought that they completed me, and I thought that I completed them, and I thought that we made this thing. But the truth of the matter, and the reason why you can believe it, but the universe knows the truth. And the universe knew, no, neither of you are whole. Neither of you are complete. Even with each other, you're not complete. And this is why it didn't move forward after we had created a soft launch. Because that wasn't even the direction it was supposed to be. Like, the universe was like, no, darling, I gave you this dream. This was your dream. I remember waking up and telling the person I was with at the time, and I was like, I gotta write something because I dreamt something. And I wrote it on the first thing that I could find, and it was a lottery ticket, a scratch off. And they were like, what is it? And I was like, look. And I was like, oh shit, look, it's a J, it's our initials. And, and I took that concept and I brought it to the team that was interested in creating with me. And I made it not a me thing, but I made it a we thing. And I realized that the reason why I tend to do that, and I've done that in my relationships, trying to bring my significant other in my world, is because of fear of doing it alone, or fear of being taken away from time spent with them. And that's stuff I didn't realize. That's stuff I didn't know. That's stuff that didn't dawn on me until working with a therapist. And now, after putting 8 months of intense work with a psychiatrist, with a love recovery coach, even with a shaman and a Buddhist who've become friends of mine, I realized that, wow, this symbol that I saw, this vision that I had, was the universe telling me, You need to complete yourself. It's you that completes yourself. It is you. And self-love, I get it, Mom. I understand it now more than ever. I remember I used to fight with my mom so much, like verbally. And I used to be like, because I used to feel attacked. I used to feel judged. I used to feel inadequate. I'm like, I do love myself. I do love myself. I do love myself. But I didn't. And the moments that I might have for a day or two, a week, a month, I would fall out of love. And I think that's why I want to just remind everybody that it's not about just loving yourself. It's about staying in love with yourself. Oh my God, this app. I forgot to take out the filter. But it was too late. I was like, I'm getting too invested in this conversation. But it's probably really good because like my makeup's like everywhere right now probably. But launching You Love You, and rebranding it for what it's supposed to be, its truth. Thank you to those people that are following that page. I know I haven't really been active the last 2 weeks. I've just been waiting for more pictures to be sent to me and submitted. A ton of people have shown support with it. Thank you to those people that have bought things from the site. Please, if and when you do, tag me, send it to me. I will repost you on the page. I will repost you on my page. I think 2021 is more than anything a time to really put in self-care, mind, body, spirit. I believe 2021 is really about using everything that we saw in 2020 and applying it. I believe that 2021 is a very good year for all of us. It is what we can make it. And I want to like I'm very happy with my reels that I just posted right now. It's not doing so good on my TikTok. TikTok's so weird. This is why I love substantial places, like things where it can live. Like today I'm actually going to record my podcast, A Girl Talks. And I'm talking, I already have like 6 episodes pre-recorded. I want to record another 2 before I drop the first one later today. I'm gonna drop it at 4:00 this afternoon, Eastern time. So I just want to, thank those that are supporting a small business owner. I want to thank those that are supporting the movement in itself, just even if it's just a page, because there's a lot of positivity that's in there. There's a lot of goodness in it. And for the first time, I have found peace in the idea of being alone and practicing being alone. I've never understood what being alone is like. I've always yearned for the warmth of another person that wasn't my mother, that wasn't my father, that wasn't an animal that I had as a pet. But I realize now more than ever that I have me. And that's okay. That's actually important. To know yourself, to know your ins and your outs, to discover what it is you want, what you don't want, to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are, to really reflect and love the good and the bad and strive to be better. That's all we can do is strive to be better. And, I've always loved to talk, right? Conversation. But when it's always been about my feelings and my past, it was just very like surface leveled, it was just facts of what has happened and what's transpired and all these things. And it wasn't until I want to say a year ago when I spoke about it, intimately here in my house, I felt safe. My boyfriend at the time was in our bedroom. Chai was running in and out of this living space. And when I shared my story, I cried. And it's crazy because I have never cried like that in front of people that I just met. But I felt safe. I think it was my environment. I felt safe. And I remember after we did the whole thing of discussing what had happened and sharing my story, I remember feeling like, wow, I'm sobbing so much that, like, you think that this happened to me yesterday, but it happened over 10 years ago. And I know at that moment I was like, wow, when things get better, when our living situation and our financial situation gets better, I want to see a therapist. And that was my mistake. Like, I should have gotten a therapist right there and then. I should have not waited. I should have not planned on postponing my healing, my therapy. I think we all think about tomorrow is the next day, tomorrow is a new day, but tomorrow's never promised. And I believe that we all have the potential to change. It's easier said than done, and a lot of the times change really comes only when we have nothing left to do but change. And sometimes it's losing a loved one, sometimes it's falling rock bottom, sometimes it's just something that has shaken us up so much. And for me, going with what I went through in the middle of a pandemic, with the world, the vibration of the world just being so low, there was no running away from my truth. Like, girl, you've got a lot of healing left to do. You got a lot of healing you got to pick up that you didn't get to finish. Why didn't you finish, Jessenia? Because you're there trying to help other people. You want to love them the way you want them to love you, but you're not loving yourself. You want to help them figure things out and get their ducks in a row and mend them, but you haven't done it for yourself. And one thing I always have said, I've always said this, you can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to the universe. You can't lie to God. The universe knows its truth. God knows its truth. And you can postpone things, you can delay things, but what's intended to happen will happen. And that's why learning to let go of certain things is so important. Even if it hurts, even if you know that you can hold on to it just a little longer, letting go is the most important thing that we as people need to learn how to apply. Because when we hold on to something that's not meant for us at that moment, at the time, or at all, we're just going against what the universe is asking from us. And when I say universe, I mean God. I'm both Catholic and spiritual. There's certain things that I don't agree with the Catholic world, and there's certain things that I don't feel is necessarily, specifics when it comes to the spiritual world. I think if your intent is to love and bring good, you can balance both, and there's no judgment in either. But if you're interested in more self-love, self-awareness, self-growth, self-healing, you listen to my podcast, A Girl Talks. You can follow the page, You Love You brand. You can also go on the website and check out some merch yourself. I laced myself up with the crew neck. I was rocking the hoodies for a little while. This is my phone case. It's really cool. And yeah, if you're a coffee or tea drinker like me. And for those that do get it, please email me. I have a couple of pictures that were sent to me by some people, and I'm very happy about the response that it's gotten, to see both men and women embrace it. It's really cool. So check it out. Love you all. I'm gonna jump into this podcast and